Greetings and salutations to you people of the interwebs, and welcome to this week's edition of Transformer of the Week, where I'm going to be looking at this guy. This is G Creations Rebel. He's the IDW cybertronian stylized Prowl. Look at this mode. This is a cybertronian armoured police car, if you can imagine such a thing. We don't need to imagine, it's here. So, several years ago now, there was the Robots in Disguise comic book, not to be confused with any of the Robots in Disguise TV series. And in it, it focused around the politics of Cybertron. And at one point, Prowl reformats his body, or rather someone reformats his body for him. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background there, so we're not going to get into too many spoilers. But anyway, there's a page splash of him in his robot mode of this, and it was glorious. And I looked at that and was like, that looks really nice, but it's a comic book design. We're never going to get a toy of it. 2018, we have a toy of it. Thanks to G Creations. They call him Rebel. Prowl is kind of a very kind of rebellious in a way, but also the law, for the greater good. He does his own thing because it's the logical course of action, which may, upset a few heads. And here he is. Now, as some of you may have been following this channel for a while, you know that I do have my reservations about cybertronian modes, because most of the time they're just bullshit cybertronian modes. You can forgive. You're a lot more forgivable than trying to turn into an Earth mode. Well, this is actually something from the comic books created, into a toy. So it does have to try and look like something. And he does a very good job of it. I mean, it looks great from there. I mean, when you start getting closer, it's like, yeah, there's lots of gaps in there. There's lots of gaps, but you couldn't get away with if it was, a modern or a real Earth police car. You couldn't get away with it. But, there's those gaps that in Cybertronian mode, yeah, it's alright. It doesn't need to be completely solid. It can have gaps. It can be gappy. But other than that, it's really nice. I like the little tampos on the front there. We've got all these reds throughout. And blues. Red, white and blue. Light it up. Oh, and it's got these amazing, big, chunky rubber tyres with a nice pattern on them. So, all in all, it's just really quite impressive. This silver's well done. The light bar is just a bit... It's not very impressive. I mean, they've got metallic red on there. It's nice cherry red, but it looks like the paint could rub off at any moment. It doesn't look that well applied, and I think if it was a translucent part, it'd really pop. Just very different from the rest of it. But it's quite small as well. It's obvious, we can get a few other characters of this if we just don't make a big deal of a light bar, because that could just be a bit of a bump in the plastic for, blue streak or smoke screen. If they do those. Because, obvious repaints and all that. Like I say, these move really well. It's got some bits there. We can move them down. These can move up and down. All in all, some really nice little details, and I do appreciate all the little bits that are picked out, like I say, in the red, whites and blues. It does come with accessories. So it comes with these two rocket launchers. And there's space for these to plug in. down here are the wheel arches. So they can plug in, they can move up and down. So it's got some offensive rockets to shoot off at you. Comes with two different blasters. It's dark grey plastic with yellowy orange highlights in them. And there's some holes there, pegs there. They can slot into even more armoured up car. And now comes to these two nightsticks. Do a bit of drumming, beat compliance into people. Now I did think, because it's got like these obvious little holes there that you peg in somewhere. They don't. I've seen a lot of people who you can use his hands here and just keep them in his hands and have them there so they can store in alt mode. But to be honest with you, there's so many little gaps in this vehicle mode that you can quite easily. Let's see, where did I have them before? Just stash them down there in the bend. Stash them down there, and they're not. Well, that one falls out, but you know, you get the idea. Like, you get them in right, they'll stay in there with friction. You can have be little aerials on his mode. So that's them. Now then, he is a transformer, and he does transform. So we'll just remove all these bits here. And deep breath. Okay, let's get this done. So start off, we'll separate this bit out here. Move these out of the way. Yeesh, right. So you kind of need to start pegging bits here. So this moves out of the way there. This moves out of the way. Move all this round. You just basically need to explode these legs. Explode that out, that round. There's a slider there. Let's see. Also slides there. Move that back here, I believe. Nope. Literally is one of the most fiddliest things going on. Get these back here. That. Kind of then. These legs bits certainly do transform. all I'm going to say, that flips into there, that flips into there. Then this flips out, and that is a leg. That is a vehicle part. It's not the most easiest thing, it's not the most intuitive thing, but you get there in the end. It's just basically just need to kind of wrestle it into place. So again, move these out of the way. Like so. So these need to be up there. This here needs to kind of be just so. And this bit here kind of need to wrestle with it until it does what you tell it to do. Just kind of get that into place. Come on. There's fun bits in transformations, and there's these legs. As you can see, we're not having a great time, are we? No. There we go, we're getting there. We are getting there. This then. What's the plug in? Up here. Come on. Flicks in there. And that is the legs transformed. Phew. Now let's get on to the sensible stuff, shall we? Right. So, unpeg these flaps here. Move those out. Move these out. I just need to unpeg sections here. Peg that. Unpeg this. And peg it in again at the back. front bit here, front bumper, needs to peg these side bits, then move them up, move that down like so. Move this bit here into there. Move these arches up and down like so. Second. So mine, this arm comes off all the time. The screw's in there and the screw hole's there, but for some reason I don't think there's any traction. Not on that, but just friction's back on again. And I'll just move the waist, move these round. And there's Prowl in his badass cybertronian cop mode. These are a non-intuitive pain in the ass. This is a bit, there's a few clearance issues here, but all in all, it transforms exactly how you think it should. But the end result, that is just gorgeous. That is an absolutely lovely cybertronian Prowl. I like how it looks. I mean, they've got some really stiff joints, highly posable as you'd expect. Got the old mitten hands here. Can hold these accessories. There's the tab there and a slot in the palm of his hand for holding them. You can just hold these nightsticks with friction. It's got the pegs that held the weapons in robot mode, car mode, are on his ankles there, so he can holster a gun onto his ankle, so you should wish. And he has got slots on his back here. To give him the Prowl missile launchers. The head sculpt's done really well. I really like that. I'm not sure, they could have gone a bit more to town with the blue in his eyes to make him pop a bit more. And again, this cherry red, metallic cherry red they're using. They use that on his head crest as well, and it's kind of the paint's coming off a little bit. It's not painted the best, but it is painted. So that's always a bonus. So he does have quite a cool ab crunch here that go quite a bit of the way. So he wants some flying action poses. For some reason he doesn't seem to favour poses where he's doing a proper crotch thrust. all this stuff at his waist does move out of the way. He's got some nice, again, just painted details on there. Yeah, it's absolutely, I really, really like this. I mean, this is a nice, you know, cybertronian modern era update of our G1 Prowl. Completely, you know, works for his character, and all in all, a real badass for your collection. This, I don't know, the legs, even in this mode, still are a bit gappy and a bit like weird, and it seems like there could have been a more elegant and easier way to transform these legs that would have been not only easier but also look better, I think. Just, I don't know what they were thinking. But other than that, yeah, nice dynamic action robot for your collection. I would recommend it. I mean, this is my first G Creations figure, and I'm not disappointed. I am not disappointed in this. It's a happy little Transformer thing. I'm not sure how it fits in people's collections overall, because it's not, it's more detailed than your average Chug. It doesn't fit in a cartoon accurate MP collection whatsoever. It is a masterpiece of engineering, but yeah, it's, I suppose hopefully the future will be, there will be more and more guys in this kind of thing, and you'll have your own, you could have your own IDWized masterpiece collection-ish. It does work well with the likes of Spartan and some of the other MMC releases, but it's just kind of a little bit different stylistically, because this is more Casey Collier type of IDW design rather than Nick Roach and Alex Milne type of design. So it's work within artists that work within the same universe, but it's still not quite, you know, there's still a little artistic differences, which I like, because I like that people bring different things to the table, and this is a really cool design. So, you know, a lot of fun, a lot of fun, and I would recommend getting hold of this, especially if you're a Prowl fan. So you look good with other Prowls, or just, you know, futuristic police cars. So yeah, that's me. Join me next week, where will be more Transformers and more weeks. Hopefully not another long bell end third party figure that takes me far too long to transform its legs off. Until then, remember to be excellent to each other, party on dudes, and because you deserve it, let's bump, shall we? Bisto! Fisto!